Was the flood story meant to be taken literally, or is it just symbolic? Modern readers often approach ancient texts with a skeptical eye, and for good reason. Myths are everywhere. Cultures have always used stories to explain the world around them. So how can we tell whether the biblical flood was intended as history or allegory? The answer begins in the structure of Genesis itself. The book opens with cosmic creation, poetic in rhythm, yes, but followed immediately by detailed genealogies, geographic markers, and a tightly ordered narrative. This isn't the style of myth-making, it's the style of ancient historical record. Hebrew doesn't have a separate word for history, but it does have a word that translates generations, records, or lineages. 10 times throughout Genesis, this formula structures the narrative, and when we reach the flood, we get it again. These are the generations of Noah, Genesis 6:9. That's a literary marker. It signals that what follows is part of a documented lineage, not a legend. And notice the level of specificity, names, ages, precise measurements of the ark, durations of rain and floodwaters down to the day, locations of landing. These are not elements of a fable. They are indicators that the author wanted the reader to understand this as a real event in real time. Compare this with the parables of Jesus, stories he tells precisely because they're not literal. When scripture intends allegory, it's usually obvious. But the flood account is not framed as an allegory. It's woven into the same narrative stream that continues all the way to Abraham, David, and Christ. So why does this matter? Because if the story is allegory, then the theological weight behind it, the judgment, the deliverance, the covenant, becomes symbolic too. But if it's history, then the warning is real. The mercy is real. The implications are real. It's not just a story about ancient wrath. It's a record of God's intervention in a world spiraling into ruin. In the next episode, we'll examine the nature of that ruin and why God's judgment was not reckless rage, but righteous justice.